So you want to start a small business in Europe, but you're not quite sure what to do? I'm going to help you out with a top 10 list of small business ideas for Europe. Coming up now! Hi, I'm Oliver and welcome back to the channel Ask Me Startup, where we talk about startups, small businesses and the world that surrounds them. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and pushing the notification bell so YouTube lets you know whenever I'm uploading new content. If you're into business, if you have a small business, if you have a startup, please feel free to download my free startup checklist, link in the description below. So today we have to talk about small business ideas because I've seen you guys being so interested into small businesses, and let's face it, this is the most easy way to start in getting your own business. But what should you do? What are good ideas to start your business with? I'm going to help you out with 10 ideas that I think are the most promising ones currently in Europe. And I'm going to start off and kick off with number 1, a 3D printing shop. Now, 3D printing is a business that is going to grow, and they are just on the verge of exploding. What I mean by this, market research shows that by 2024, the market is going to grow to roughly $34 to $35 billion US. Big part of that is going to happen in Europe. And you can think of different possibilities to start your 3D printing business. You can have a local 3D printing shop, which I think is a good idea to start because you can then provide 3D printer tools for kids. You can have a prototype 3D printing shop. You can have an industrial 3D printing shop. You can have a 3D scanning and manufacturing business. Look, there are so many possibilities in this area. And I'm going to tell you right now that even schools are looking into 3D printing services. Why? Because they're actually having kids working on computers, which they want them to have something physical that they can touch. Hence, they need a 3D printer somewhere. You can have a 3D printing service business because those printers maybe are not the most easiest ones to deal with. So as you can see, this business idea is a really promising one. And no matter where in Europe, you're able to find a proper set of customers. Local ones, national ones, Europe-wide ones. Business idea number 2 is a food truck business. Now, you might have seen food trucks already all over the place, maybe more predominantly in the US, but also in Asia. In Europe, you see them growing ever since. Why? Well, it is quite obvious. First of all, they're not locally bound to a certain location. Hence, they can be placed anywhere where the customers are. Now, today you should be aware that home office is a relevant part of everyday's life. More and more people live in or work in home office, and they hardly ever leave their house now. Now, if you are working full-time, it is still impossible to cook at home. So if you are able to have a food truck and have some very delicious food, which is of course a prerequisite, right? Then people are willing to come to you and buy. You could even extend that business in terms of traveling around with your food truck and delivering the food to people in the area. Not have them come to you, but actually if you're in the area, you're going to collect the orders up front or via internet and then distribute it to them right away. That will help out people big time, and the food truck business is growing. And I can tell you already right now in Switzerland, even though big companies have their own restaurants, mensas, etc., people are still looking for other choices. And the food trucks that are around big companies in our area are always fully booked. Business idea number 3, taking care of old and disabled people. Now, like in any first world country, the population is aging. We are having an increase in old people or in people that are older than 65 by 20 to 30% every year because the birth rates are not keeping up, and migration for many European countries is actually lagging behind. Hence, you will see a bigger and bigger demand for caretaking of elderly and disabled people. This market is, no matter where you are, of interest. But of course, maybe it is better to look into markets that actually can afford take the care, because not every country is having, let's say, for instance, an insurance like Germany has for elderly care people. Switzerland, for instance, as an example, doesn't have that. And some people are unable to pay the up to 10,000 Swiss francs a month cost to take care of old and disabled people. Small business number 4, an online marketing and advertising business. Now that might not sound quite rational because you can have those businesses anywhere. The truth of the matter is you need to focus on local areas. You need to focus around the neighborhood that you're actually working in. I can tell you, I'm in a local Facebook group, and this Facebook group is all about helping each other out. And so many small businesses are looking for help on marketing and advertisement and in any way digital help for their websites. But they're not going to any of those Upwork or Fiverr or any of these other worldwide platforms. Why? Because they want a local partner. They want someone they can walk to help them out immediately. And I think that would be true for Germany, for Austria. It is true for Italy for sure. Hence, this is a great idea to start your business with the know-how you gain anywhere in the world locally. But you need to connect with people first. You cannot just plant your business and hope that some people will jump on the train for you. Business idea number 5, daycare service. Now, in all of Europe, there is a huge lack of capabilities to taking care of kids, no matter the age, because people are actually working. Today, it is more than ever so necessary that both partners in the household work. So that meaning the husband and wife usually tend to go to work because otherwise money might not always be sufficient. But no matter where, you will find a shortage of people taking care of your kids. Even more so in today's world where there's home office and kids are usually at home, but they are disturbing people to do their job properly. Hence, if you're able and have the right professional background to provide service, you will always find customers. I think the biggest challenge today is finding the right properties to lease or to buy where you can offer that services from. Business idea number 6, a cleaning service. The demand of cleaning services and the increase in requirements in ads in local newspapers, in international newspapers, in nationwide newspapers has been by roughly 25 to 30%. Now, why is that? Because people are aware that they have to do more than just their regular vacuum cleaning and maybe wiping off some surfaces. Today, people want some disinfections on, let's say, very often touched surface like door handles or anything like that. If you are able to pull off a cleaning business, you actually are on a track to a very growing industry. And this industry is going to be more and more relevant even after the pandemic is over because people are now used to having a better, cleaner environment and they're not going to let go. Secondly, you need to be aware that, as I mentioned already, home office is relevant. Now, do those people have time? No. Hence, they are looking for someone to clean up their flats as well because usually what happened is people were in the office, this was totally taken care of, and at home you didn't mess up so much, hence you could deal with cleaning up your own home maybe once a week. Now, as you're home 24/7 almost for some people, things are different. So you need to offer a service that helps people to clean up, to take care of their own environment and home, maybe in an everyday type of fashion where people just jump in for 1 hour, etc., just to take care of the business people can't do while they're working. Business idea number 7, start a pet business. There has been an increase in dogs that are bought or have been bought over the internet and in local shops by roughly 25% in all of Europe. Due to the pandemic, people were forced to stay at home and they looked up for something else to do. Hence, they bought a dog, they bought a cat, they bought a bird, whatever, it doesn't matter. Those people have now the requirement to take care of their pets. So you can have a dog walking company, you can have a hair trim company for dogs, for cats. Something in that area where you're servicing people with pets is going to boom because the market just grew by 25 to 30%. Business idea number 8. Start a handyman business. In the local groups that I'm in, there is a constant demand for someone to install a light fixing, to install a bed, to build up furniture, to move a couch, to repair a leaking hose. I mean, this is incredible. You know, things that used to do your dad 20, 30 years ago, people are looking for professional help now because they can't do it themselves. I mean, just think of many people are incapable of cooking for themselves. They need to buy pre-made food in order to survive. This is an ever-growing problem because people are now more focused on telephones or mobile phones or internet things, etc. But they've forgotten the real basic stuff in life to take care of where and how they live. Hence, if you start a handyman business, I mean, I can guarantee you, locally you will have the best business of your life, especially if you combine it with an online platform where people can ask for your specific help. And if you combine that with, let's say, a rental business for the tools that you also acquired, this is going to be a very long-lasting, sustainable business. And I can guarantee you that the demand is ever so growing because those people that can't fix their own stuff today will not be able to teach their kids. Hence, this is a growing chain and it's growing base of potential customers in the future. Business idea number 9, start an e-bike and e-scooter business. Now that might not be new, but e-bikes are a phenomenon that have been increasing specifically at the beginning of the pandemic by 25% per year. And if you go to regular bike shops, usually everything is sold out. Now, that is true anywhere in the world. There is an example of a guy started their e-bike business in Madrid and they're now doing a 1.2 million turnover with 11 people. E-bikes will become the predominant form of transport. And I'm not talking just about simple bikes. It could be four-wheeled e-bikes, etc., with a cover on top, etc. Anything like that will be in growing demand because people want to have less cars. They want to be more and flexible, but they might not necessarily want to take public transport, or they might not even have public transport available. Hence, if you're into that type of field, if you love the revolution of transportation, maybe an e-bike business is the right thing for you to do. And business idea number 10, start an organic food store. The demand of organically grown food and people that are very well aware of what they eat and want to preserve the planet is increasing by roughly 10 to 25% a year. Now, big chains are jumping on the train as well, but they're not attracting the same clientele. Usually, small organic grocery shops have a growing customer base. Why? Because people want to buy locally and organic. And the big chains usually do not provide that, and they don't trust the big chains. So if you're able to have a local small business on organic foods, if you have the right connections to the farmers, you're going to have a sustainable business idea for the next 20 to 25 years for sure. All right, everybody. I hope that list of the top 10 small business ideas for Europe is helpful to you. What is your business idea? What are you planning to do in a small business? What have your experience been? Just share that with the community, share it with us, and let's have a discussion on that. If you made it so far in the video, please subscribe and smash the like button because it really, really helps the channel to grow. I thank you for your attention and I'm gonna see you next time.